Good evening, everyone. We'll call the City Council to order at 8 o'clock on Monday, December 15th, 2025. This meeting is being recorded. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have 9 items on this evening's agenda, and I will ask the clerk to please read agenda item number 1.
Minutes of the City Council meeting December 1st, 2025.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the minutes.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are filed. The vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 2.
Communication from the mayor regarding grant acceptance in the amount of $7,000 from the Brigham Family Trust awarded to the public library to be used to create a library, quote, library of things, unquote, collection.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to approve the grant, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the grant. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. As I was reading through the different items they're going to have there, the one that really stuck out to me is they're going to be offering musical instruments that residents can sign out and play, and I just thought that was the greatest way of using using the grant to help people understand and appreciate music. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
President.
you, Councilor Vital. Councilor Orem.
Thank you, Mr. President. I concur with Councilor Vital. It's great. I didn't understand what it was about until I read the letter from our librarian, Sarah. And one thing that caught my attention was the musical instruments, leak detectors, a drill set, blood pressure monitors, pretty neat stuff. So if you need stuff and you want to get it for free through the library, you can't beat it. This is a great program. And again, many thanks to the, I was going to say the Collins, the Brigham Estate. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Remember, it's to borrow and return. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The gift is approved and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 3.
Communication from the mayor regarding OPEB Trust update.
Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the communication, please.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication on the OPEB Trust. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Communication is filed. The vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 4.
Communication from Solicitor Jason Grossfield regarding application for a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of First Choice Auto Service and Sales, Inc. to modify the pre-existing non-conforming auto repair use by adding automobile sales as an accessory use at the property located at 299 Maple Street. In proper legal form, order number 25-100, 9513C.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to accept and place on file the communication from the solicitor and to move the special permit language down to agenda number 9.
Motion's made and seconded to accept and place on file the communication and move this item down to agenda item number 9. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. This is going to agenda item number 9 and filed. The vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 5.
Communication from Philip Provost and Bill, I apologize, Limberopoulos regarding request to accept Jewel Road as a public way.
Councilor Pacillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to refer to the city solicitor, the city engineer, the planning board, and to carry over to the 2026-2027 legislative session.
Motion's made and said, we won't have to carry this over because they'll end up sending it back. So if you're okay, motion to go to the planning board, the solicitor, and engineering.
So moved.
So the motion has been made and seconded to send this item to the planning board, the solicitor, and to engineering. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The vote is 11-0. This is going to the planning board, the solicitor, and engineering. Agenda item number 6.
Minutes of boards, commissions, and committees.
Mr. President,
Councilor Doucette.
thank you very much, Mr. President. Motion to accept and place on file the minutes of the boards, commissions, and committees.
Motion made and seconded, accept and place on file the minutes. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The minutes are gotten filed, and the vote is 11-0. Agenda item number 7.
Claims.
Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to send the claims to legal department.
Motion made and seconded to send all the claims to the legal department. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Claims are going to legal, and the vote is 11-0. Reports of committees. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance Committee met on December 8th, 2025. Meeting convened at 6:30 PM. We had 2 items on the agenda that evening. First item was order number 25-100-9607, proposed job description pursuant to Chapter 125 Personnel, Section 5, preparation of classification descriptions relative to the position of head clerk and senior clerk in the collector's office, along with a transfer request in the amount of $4,051.68 from the assistant's finance director to head clerk to fund the position for the remainder of FY 2026. Chair Irish read the communication from Mayor Dumas. Council Vital expressed concerns regarding the absolute following of the Collins Center report and suggested that the City Council look separately at each position that is forwarded to the body. Council Orem spoke in support of the order on a motion to approve by Council Brown, seconded by the Chair. Finance Committee recommends approval of the proposed job description along with the transfer in the amount of $4,051.68 from Assistant Finance Director to Head Clerk to fund the position for the remainder of FY 2026. The vote carried 5-0 with a suspension. Next up was order number 25-100-9609, proposed job description pursuant of Chapter 125, Section 5, preparation of classification descriptions relative to the position of the Comptroller Treasurer in the addition to the proposed employment contract for Brian Doheny, along with a transfer request in the amount of $20,695 from Assistant Finance Director to the Comptroller Treasurer to fund the contract for the remainder of FY 2026. Chair Irish read the communication from Mayor Dumas. Chair Irish and Council Orm spoke in support of the proposed job description relative to the position of Comptroller Treasurer in the addition to the proposed employment contract for Brian Doheny, along with the transfer in the amount of $20,695 from the Assistant Finance Director to the Comptroller Treasurer to fund the contract for the remainder of 2026. On a motion by Council Vital, seconded by Chair Irish, the Finance Committee recommends approval of the proposed job description, employment contract, and transfer request in the amount of $20,695. Vote carried 5-0 with the suspension. Meeting adjourned at 6:41 p.m. And that's the end of my report, Mr. President. And I will be asking for 2 suspensions. The first one is for order number 25-100-9607 and 25-100-9609, please.
All right, we'll take the first one, the request for a suspension of the rules for order number 9607. All those in favor of the suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries 11-0. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee to approve the job description and the transfer request in the amount of $4,051.68, please.
Motion's made and seconded to approve the job description and transfer for $4,051.68. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The job description and the transfer are both approved, and the vote is 11-0. Councilor Irish.
Thank you, Mr. President. Next up is for the order number 25-100-9609. Move the recommendation of committee to support the proposed job description of the Comptroller Treasurer and proposed employment contract for Brian Doheny, and a transfer request in the amount of $20,695 from the Assistant Finance Director's position, please.
Okay, let's start with the motion to suspend the rules.
Motion for suspension, Mr. President.
Motion's made and seconded to suspend the rules for order number 9609. All those in favor of the suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries. The vote is 11-0.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You can just say move the motion.
Move the motion, Mr. President. Thank you.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the job description, contract, and the transfer of $20,695 for the comptroller. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know I was silent on the last one. I was debating how much of an issue to make with that one, but I can't go without standing up on this one. I wasn't at Finance. I noticed when I watched the meeting it was only the Finance Committee, and I may be the sole City Council member, but I cannot vote for this. I was going to do the math and then totally forgot all about it. I know Mr. Doheny's been doing a wonderful job. I know we're all glad that he's back here, but I don't think he came back expecting to have a $20,000 increase. at this point in the fiscal year, and I can't see us increasing this year's budget, let alone starting next year's budget with a $20,000 increase for one person. So I'll just let that be my statement, and thank you.
Thank you, Council Roby. Any other discussion? Hearing none. On the motion to approve the job description, the transfer, and the contract. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved, and the vote is 10-1. Reports of committees. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee met on December 11th, 2025 at 7 p.m. And we took up one order number 25-1009415, proposed change to city charter relative to Section 59A for filling vacancies in the office of mayor and city council. Chair Brown read the communication from President Ossing. Councilor Roby made a motion to approve the charter change, seconded by Chair Brown. Discussion followed. Councilor Doucette expressed his concern that the language could give a candidate an upper hand. Councilor Roby was not in agreement with Councilor Doucette, adding that she did not feel it was appropriate to have a vacant ward seat for over a year, as had happened with Councilor Councilor Landers was ill and later passed away. President Ossing and Councilor Fucillo were in support of the charter change. Councilor Doucette stated that the person appointed should not be able to run for the seat. Other councilors present did not share Councilor Doucette's concerns. On a motion by Councilor Roby, seconded by Chair Brown, the Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee recommends approval of the proposed charter change relative to Section 59A for filling vacancies in the office of mayor and city council, and further to suspend the rules to refer to the city solicitor to place in a home rule petition format and carry over to year 2026. The vote carried 3-0, and I will be asking for a suspension.
A motion made and second for suspension for order number 9415. All those in favor of suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries 11-0. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, President Ossing. Move to send this item to the solicitor to place in home rule petition format and to carry over to year 2026.
Motion made and seconded to refer this item to the solicitor, put in home rule petition format and carry to 2026. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Doucette.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. So what I express concern with is not that I believe that the position should be filled, okay, without a doubt. But over the last 10 or so years, there were 2 deaths that happened with the council. One was Councilor Landers. The other one was Bob Page, who was the Ward 2 councilor, and he passed away before I got elected. And I believe he passed away in October. And my concern was if someone was going to appoint someone in October who was running at that time, there'd be an unfair advantage. So that's basically the proposal I wanted to get changed. Because I'm not on the legislative and legal, I couldn't make a motion, so therefore I make a motion here. So if anyone wants to agree with this, the intent of doing this is effectively, if the person is going to be appointed, then they can't run for 2 years. So that would be the change. So I make a motion of that. If anyone seconds it, we can have a vote. Thank you, sir.
Been a motion made. Is there a second? Councilor Vital.
Thank you, Mr. President. I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Fucillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Being a member of L&L, I know we had some really good discussion, Councilor Doucette, and I understand your concern about giving somebody an unfair incumbency advantage, right? That I think when this first came down to L&L a while back, when President Ossing first submitted the change, that was some of the discussion Councilor Roby and I had on the floor, but I worry about the precedent it sets if this body were to bar anyone from running for public office, regardless of whether or not this body appointed them. I think we get into some very murky water legally as a council if we do, move forward with the motion on the floor. So I'm not in support of barring somebody from running just because they are appointed by this body to that seat. I would hope that a future city council keeps that in mind when selecting that person, right? To not be deliberately choosing somebody who they know intends to run for the seat and is going to mount a campaign. Can we fully control that? No, but again, that's something for a future council to deal with, and I would be very worried if we were to bar even one person in this community from running for office. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Pacillo. Any other discussion? Councilor Roby.
Thank you. I believe our rules state that a change has to be in writing. Does that refer, because we have an order that we technically approved at the committee level. Does the order need to be changed to include this language?
If it's more than 10 words, it would be. So if I could, Councilor Doucette, I would say if you would withdraw your amendment and discuss it when this comes back in proper form, that way you can finalize what words you'd like to have on there, because otherwise, unless you have 10 words or less right now, it's not going to work.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think I'll talk to the solicitor and come up with options, option A, option B, so thank you.
So you withdraw your amendment?
For now, yes.
Amendment's been withdrawn. All those in favor of approving the home rule petition and sending it to the solicitor, or approving sending this home rule petition to the solicitor and carrying it over to 2026? Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Carries 11-0. This is going to the solicitor to be put in proper format and will come back to the city council for a final vote. That carries 11-0. Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Urban Affairs and Housing Committee met on December 11th. We had one item on our agenda, order number 25-109-540, special permit application from Attorney Gemma Cashman on behalf of JC Residential and Light Commercial LLC for outdoor storage as an accessory use for the warehouse located at 1000 Nickerson Road. The chair opened the meeting thanking the petitioner for extending the time limit to January 31st, 2026, their patience as this went under review by the solicitor and getting a date set for an Urban Affairs Committee meeting. Attorney Cashman made remarks on why they felt this special permit should be approved, and the owners of the property discussed the work they'd done on the site and urged us to approve the special permit. The chair stated she had sent the tapes from 2005 to all counselors so that they had an opportunity to look at what was discussed when this change was made. Chair then read part of the opinion from Solicitor Grossfield and read through comments received from 3 members of the Urban Affairs Committee City Council in 2005 when the code was amended to allow outdoor storage in LI, with all of them stressing the change used the word "and" to combine light non-nuisance manufacturing and assembly of vehicles not as 2 separate types of uses. The chair read a comments from the building commissioner and Councilor Ossing, who was a member of the city council in 2005, with both of them reading the language as 2 separate types of uses. The chair stated the draft special permit came in late and thanked the department heads for their quick responses. Fire department, police chief, health director, and city engineer all had no comments. Conservation Sustainability Officer Ryder offered an amendment, and Building Commissioner Payton agreed. The chair asked for comments before reading through the special permit draft decision. Councilor Doucette suggested working around the 2005 change so that someone requesting to do light manufacturing can pull a special permit and get one. Councilor Pacillo stated he thought the "and" was distributive and that this petitioner should be allowed to have their special permit approved. The chair read through the draft special permit decision with members agreeing to the change suggested by Ms. Ryder in Condition 5, adding after the word "city ordinances" the following: "and will require a fence permit from the building department." Councilor Doucette moved to recommend approval of the special permit decision as amended. It was seconded. After discussion, it was approved 2-1, with Councilor Roby voting no. Excuse me. The chair stated she would report this out at the December 15th meeting, ask for a suspension, to refer to the solicitor, and to carry this over to the 2026 legislative session. So I will ask for the suspension, and so we can refer this to the solicitor.
Motion made and seconded for his suspension for order number 9540. All those in favor of the suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries. The vote is 11-0. Counselor Roby.
Move to refer this to the solicitor to be put in proper form so it can come back for the second meeting in January and to carry this over.
Motion's made and seconded to refer this item to the solicitor so it can be put in proper format and then be carried over to our 2026 legislative session. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The item carries. This is going to the solicitor to be put in proper format, will be carried over to 2026, and the vote is 11-0. Any other reports of committees? Council Roby.
Thank you. I know you had said that we didn't need to do it, but I would, just for the record, like to carry over to the 26th legislative session order number 25-109-581, the special permit application for gym retail shop at 214 Cedar Hill Street.
And a motion made and seconded to carry over the special permit for the gym over at 214 Cedar Hill Street. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? The special permit is carried over to 2026 legislative session, and the vote is 11-0. Councilor Roby.
And then do I need to suspend to give a short report from the Richer School Building Committee?
A request for suspension to allow the Councilor Roby to update us on the Richer School Building Committee activities. All those in favor of the suspension? Opposed? Suspension carries. The vote's 11-0. Councilor Roby.
Thank you. I just want to let you all know that last Friday, the Massachusetts School Building Authority had a meeting where they voted to move Marlborough into preferred schematic design for new construction at an estimated total project cost of $169,200. So we're very excited at the building committee to begin the next phase of this work. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Roby. So that'll be our 2026 opportunity. Any other reports of committees? Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to clarify there was a communication on the desk of, no, we're good.
Well, we should be all set. Oh, the special act, yeah, we're good. That's all set.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No other reports? Agenda item number 8.
Order the City Council supports the Municipal Aggregation Committee's unanimous endorsement to have the city participate in a low-income community solar discount rate program as part of the city's municipal aggregation plan, subject to applicable state requirements, and authorizes the mayor to negotiate and enter into a memorandum of understanding, administrative services agreement, and/or any other document or agreement necessary to effectuate the above for a term not to exceed 20 years, subject to the approval of the Commissioner of Public Works, Chief Procurement Officer, and City Solicitor, submitted by Councilors Navin and Ossing.
Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to approve.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the order. Any discussion on the motion? Councilor Roby, well, I'll start with Councilor Navin to give some background. Go ahead, Councilor Navin.
Thank you, Mr. President. I will try and make this brief. I know we got a few more things left on the agenda here tonight. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of certain aspects of the state's Smart Solar Incentive Program. This one, it was passed by the legislature and it was promulgated by the Department of Energy Resources, created a new block of incentives for people to build solar. One of the things, and to be clear, that is an incentive program that is paid by all electric ratepayers. So this is a program that we are already paying as part of our energy bill to fund, and then the Commonwealth then turns around and provides incentives for people to build solar. One of the aspects of this program is to help incentivize solar development and to provide a benefit to low-income or energy assistance residential ratepayers, sometimes referred to, as you saw in the documents, as R2 or R4 ratepayers. What does this mean? This means that through our municipal aggregation program and the good folks at Colonial Power, they're able to enter into an agreement with a solar developer and use some of those incentives and provide a discount to some of our lower-income solar residents, lower-income energy payers. Ratepayers, excuse me, and they will be able to get that discount because of solar energy. It incentivizes additional solar development in the Commonwealth, and it gives us the opportunity to use the municipal aggregation plan to provide additional discounts to people who are in need. So it is definitely a win-win. The only other thing I would like to say is this was brought to my attention by the council president. It was brought to his attention by Mr. Capadonna. They are tireless, and they deserve all the credit for helping move a lot of this municipal aggregation stuff forward. It is dense material, to be sure, but there is a lot of benefit that comes from paying attention to this material. So, Mr. President, you won't take it publicly, but you deserve a lot of the credit, as do the folks at Colonial Power. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Navin. Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. So as was just stated, it's a lot of dense material, and I know I personally have questions, and I think the public needs to hear more than, although it was certainly a good compilation of what we would be approving, to me doesn't give the public the benefit that I think the public needs. If this was referred to committee, I would prefer that it go to committee, and so I will not be supporting approving this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Roby. Any other comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the order? All those in favor? Opposed? 1. The order is approved by the vote of 10 to 1. Agenda item number 9.
Order number 25-100-9513, application for a special permit from Attorney Brian Falk on behalf of First Choice Auto to modify the pre-existing non-conforming auto repair use by adding automotive sales as an accessory use at the property located at 299 Maple Street. Recommendation of the Urban Affairs Committee is to approve.
Councilor Roby.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move the recommendation of committee, which is to approve.
Motion's been made and seconded to move the recommendation of the committee, which is to approve the special permit. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll ask the clerk to read the conditions, please.
City Council, pursuant to its authority under Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, and the zoning ordinance of the City of Marlborough, hereby grants the applicant a special permit for an accessory auto sales use at 299 Maple Street on a parcel with an area of less than 1 acre and a modification of a pre-existing non-conforming auto repair use and structure at 299 Maple Street by adding the accessory auto sales use as shown on the plans filed, subject to the following conditions, which condition shall be binding on the applicant and successors and/or assigns. 1, construction in accordance with applicable laws. Construction of all structures on the site is to be in accordance with all applicable building codes and zoning regulations in effect in the City of Marlborough and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and shall be built according to the plans as may be amended during site plan review. 2, site plan review. The issuance of the special permit is further subject to detailed site plan review by the Site Plan Review Committee in accordance with the City of Marlborough Site Plan Review Ordinance prior to the issuance of the building permit. Any additional changes, alterations, modifications, or amendments as required during the process of site plan review shall be further conditions attached to the building permit, and no final occupancy permit shall be issued until the applicant has complied with all the conditions. Provided, however, that subsequent to the issuance of the special permit and site plan approval, the Site Plan Review Committee may authorize the phasing of site and building work depending upon weather conditions and other factors. Subsequent site plan review shall be consistent with the conditions of this special permit, and the plans submitted, reviewed, and approved by the City Council as the special permit granting authority. 3, modification of plans, notwithstanding conditions 1 and 2 above. The City Council or the Site Plan Review Committee may approve engineering changes to the plan so long as said changes do not change the use as approved herein or materially increase the impervious area of the use, reduce the green area, alter traffic flow, or increase the size of the building all as shown on the plans. 4, incorporation of submissions. All plans, photo renderings, site evaluations, briefs, and other documentation provided by the applicant as part of the application and/or is amended or revised during the application hearing process before the City Council and/or the City Council's Urban Affairs Committee are herein incorporated into and become part of the special permit and become conditions and requirements of the same unless otherwise altered by the City Council. 5, vehicles on site. The applicant shall not display more than 5 vehicles for sale on the site at any given time. Inclusive of vehicles for sale, the applicant shall not have more than 20 vehicles on the site at any given time unless through the site plan review process it is determined that only a smaller number of vehicles can fit on the site, in which case the smaller number of vehicles shall be the maximum allowed. 6, parking. Parking areas for vehicles under repair, employees, customers, and vehicles on display for sale shall be orderly and in designed striped areas as shown in the plans. The applicant shall not park vehicles for sale or under repair off of the site along the public ways. 7, drainage. As part of the site plan review, the applicant shall work with the city engineer on options for drainage improvements designed to reduce runoff from the site. 8, screening. The car service storage shall be screened from Maple Street to be determined during the site plan review process. 9, planters. The applicant shall install planters along the front of the property adjacent to the sidewalk and along the northeast sideline of the site with the size, number, and specific location of said planters to be determined during the site plan review process, designed to improve the aesthetics of the site and to offer some screening of the vehicles under repair. The applicant shall plant and maintain evergreen plants and flowering plants in the planters. 10, vehicle sales license. The applicant shall obtain and comply with a vehicle sales license from the city's licensing board. 11, noise and air quality. The applicant shall comply with the city's noise ordinance and shall comply with all state and federal requirements governing air quality and emissions. Finally, 12, recording of decision. In accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 48, Section 11, the applicant and its successors and/or signs at its expense shall record this special permit in the Middlesex South Registry of Deeds. After the city clerk has certified that the 20-day period for appealing a special permit has elapsed with no appeal having been filed, and before the applicant has applied to the building commissioner for a building permit. Upon recording, the applicant shall forthwith provide a copy of the recorded special permit to the city council office, the building department, and the city solicitor's office.
Hold on, Mr. Clerk. You've heard the conditions. Any further discussion on the motion to approve the special permit? Council Sergeant, do you want to abstain from participation since you weren't able to fill out the paperwork for this one? Not your fault, by the way. Will let the record reflect that Councilor Sergeant will not be participating.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call vote. I will ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Councilor Orem.
Yes.
Councilor Doucette.
Yes.
Councilor Sargent is abstaining. Councilor Preciado.
Yes.
Councilor Ossing.
Yes?
Councilor Irish.
Yes.
Councilor Navin.
Yes.
Councilor Vital.
Yes.
Councilor Fucillo.
Yes.
Councilor Roby. Is that 9 in favor, 1 opposed, 1 abstention, sir?
The vote for the special permit is approved by a vote of 9 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 abstention. Before we adjourn, just a reminder that inauguration is January 5th at 10 o'clock. So just,
Please arrive before that.
to make the clerk's life a little easier. And I do have, actually 2 announcements, but I'll take care of the first one first. Councilor Brown, may I have you come on up? As is usually customary when a counselor is not returning and has served us well, we want to recognize her efforts. And I didn't bring my glasses. Nope. Oh, but great. Thank you, Mr. Kerrigan. I could read it. In grateful recognition of Tiona Chin Brown, Ward 4 City Councilor, Marlborough City Council, 22 to 2025, in recognition of her commitment to the elected office of City Councilor and as Chair of the Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee, Vice Chair of the Finance Committee, members of the City Council join the citizens of Marlborough in wishing Councilor Brown success in her future endeavors and gratefully acknowledge her service to the City of Marlborough as to the City Council of Ward 4 and especially for her dedication to her constituents in Ward 4 and moreover to all the citizens of this great city. Signed under my hand and sealed in the Council Chambers, City Hall, Marlborough, Massachusetts, this 15th day of December, 2025. Michael H. Ossing, President. Councilor Brown. Would you like to?
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody in this room, and absolutely need to thank my family for coming on this journey with me, because there were definitely sacrifices that they made with me coming to meetings and being present for the community. And also just want to give a shout out to the constituent who was with me the whole way, Bobby Spirio. Thank you.
Well done, Tiona. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like you to go up and you can ask for adjournment of the meeting.
Councilor Navin?
Thank you very much, Madam President. Before I make my motion, I would just like to echo the President's comments. It has been an honor to serve here with you and alongside you. I would like to thank you for your friendship, your guidance. I have learned an incredible amount from you, and I hope that this time that we don't serve together is shorter than any of us expect. And I look forward to all of the wonderful service you will bring to our community. And with that, move to adjourn.
A motion has been made and seconded to adjourn, and I thank Councilor Navin for his words. All those in favor? The motion carries 11-0. The meeting's adjourned at 8:34 p.m. Thank you.